So here we're just going to pull the starter off. While we're doing this, let me just give some credit to the guys on GasGasWriter.org that gave me the information just from perusing the threads and all the things they've written there and the time they spent writing threads and answering people's questions. I wouldn't be doing this right now if it wasn't for them. So, in fact, most of the videos I made, a good part of the videos I made, are based on information I read from GasGas Writer. So, it's a couple guys that were major contributors to this starter thread, at least the thread. There's several in the forum that I've read. One of them is from Bob, Bob T250. I don't know what his last name is. I've emailed him a couple times and he's answered my questions and helped me out immensely, so I really appreciate him. There's another guy, Neil, that writes, and so many of those guys are just super, super smart. Once they start writing and they post, it's just like, wow, these people are way more educated than I am. I'm just a wrench turner. I'm not even an official mechanic. So, okay, so that's the starter. It's come off here. Starter motor. Bendix is inside here. You can see the Bendix right here. Hopefully that's showing up with this GoPro. And you can see the teeth are really chewed up right here. So what I want to find out next is this Bendix coming down like it's supposed to? Are these teeth being driven down when the starter motor is activated by 12 volts electricity? And if so, that shows me that it's coming down to engage. I can hear it spin without engaging, which I think means this isn't getting driven down. If you remember, half the time I hit the button, it would turn the engine over, and then the other half the time I hit the button, it would just sit there and whine. So I think what that means is this isn't coming down. It should be engaging consistently, even though the teeth are all jacked up there. So we're going to pull this apart and see what the contact pattern is from these teeth being torn up. Fortunately, the teeth on the ring gear here aren't too bad. They actually look pretty good. But the teeth here on the Bendix are all jacked. So let's hook this up to the jumper next and make sure that that's coming down like it's supposed to. Okay, so here all we've done is hook the jumper up, positive to the positive side of the starter, negative to the ground. We'll hit this button and just watch the Bendix pinion gear and see what it does here. Hopefully it won't jump away from me. Okay, so there you can see it's coming down. It looks like it's coming down consistently. Okay, so I'm not unhappy with that. I think even in the vertical mode it would come down more consistently, so that seems to be working. Let's pull it apart and examine it closer. Okay, so the starter just pulls off the Bendix housing. Now looking at the starter gear, it looks fine to me. I don't see anything bad on that as far as the teeth go. Okay, and right there the teeth don't look bad inside the inside the housing, what we can see there. So okay, let's pull it apart. housing. There's the Bendix. Make sure there's no washers laying down there. Okay. Alright, so the drive teeth that the starter hits, these are the teeth that the starter engages right there. That looks fine. I don't think that's the issue. Although, we'll talk about this later, a couple of the guys are talking about the way this mounts against the engine right here. When this starter is inside this housing, when you actually tighten the bolts down, it pulls the starter this way, which I'm not sure yet exactly if that would push it away from this gear or into the gear, but I think if it was marginally engaging, we'd see some kind of damage there, or metal or something, so I think that's pretty good. Now the concerning part here is the pinion on the Bendix itself, and you can see that the teeth are worn on the edges. I don't have the new one here with me, it's on order, so we'll look at that when it comes, but right now you can see that the teeth, the square edge of the teeth has been, that square edge has been chopped off. Now I think Rob's post on gasgaswriter.org on his thread showed the teeth being broken out on this outer edge, so that the pinion itself was actually hitting this outer edge. So his pinion was actually too far away from, the pinion was too far away from the ring gear, and so it was wearing these outer teeth on this outer edge, not the corner like this one's wearing. And so his was too far away. I think this one's too close, and what's happening is the pinion's coming down and hitting the ring gear teeth right here and not fully engaging and just stripping. I think that's what's happening. And I also, what else makes me think that is these little hash marks here in this return spring cover that are all nicked up here. I think that's from the ring gear itself. Let's go have a look. So the teeth are supposed to come down like this. When the Bendix gets power and starts spinning, this gets driven down by centrifugal weights inside, and this should engage this and spin the ring gear, which starts the engine. And I think what's happening is these ring gear teeth, or this pinion teeth, are too close, and they're hitting and destroying themselves because there's no real marks here on the outer edges like it was actually fully engaging. So I think it's too close. That's my guess. I want to do some measurements and find out with a gasket in place here, find out what the distances are here, and then compare them to the inside of the case with this in place.